the annual Play for K game for the UConn women's basketball team, so there's pink everywhere you look inside the XL Center in Hartford. Today as UConn and Butler square off in Big East play. UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by your local New England Honda dealers. Contact your local New England Honda dealer. By Dunkin', UConn basketball runs on Dunkin'. By Madison Reed, feel confident and unstoppable with Madison Reed hair color. And by your Connecticut Cadillac dealers. Visit your Connecticut Cadillac dealer today. And hi, everybody, from downtown Hartford with Megan Kumo. I'm Alan Bestwood. Chelsea Sherrod joins us in just a moment. So it's February. Time to start looking ahead to the big moments of March and April. As we enter February, where do you think this UConn team stands? What are its strengths?
Well, you know, they say defense wins championships, right? And that's where I think this team is really comfortable with the way they play defense. Their numbers are pretty impressive. And what Gino has talked about recently, he said, listen, we're not a great shot blocking team. We're not the most athletic. The goal is to try to wear teams down. They're relentless and never wavering the way they pressure the ball and pressure full court, which allows them then to get into their offense a little bit more smoothly.
One of the areas Gino's talked about wanting his team to improve is finding that third and fourth scorer as well. We've begun to see it as January tailed off in Caitlin Chen.
She has played really well the last several games. And, you know, teams they're trying to decide who are we going to leave open. Well, against DePaul, she had an impressive night, shooting 7 of 9 from the floor, a perfect 3 of 3 from three-point range. She finished up with 17 points. That's exactly what the graduate student transfer from Princeton needs to do for this team.
And so we'll see how Caitlin performs today as she's introduced to the Gamble crowd. The opposition today is the Butler Bulldogs. They started the season 10-3, but since Big East play began, they've gone 2-6. What's caused this roller coaster ride for Butler?
Well, as UConn and UConn fans know, they've been decimated by injury. They're without their 2 best scorers, and so that leaves a big hole in Austin Parkinson's roster. But you know what? He's a great coach. He said, you know, they're 2-6. They could be 4-4 in some of those games. They're going to go timeout to timeout. Just work on the things that they are good at. Just try to make open shots and play solid defense. A
look at Coach Parkinson as he gets ready to lead his Butler squad into action today at the XL Center. Our starting lineups are presented by Subaru of New England. So the 5 for UConn, now 10 consecutive games. Beckers, Chen, Fudd, Strong, and El Alfie. For the Butler Bulldogs, keep an eye on number 11, Kylan McGuff. Without their leading scorer, Caroline Strandy, McGuff has taken over as the everything for this Butler team. And our first in-game report from Chelsea before tip is presented by NJM. Okay, Chelsea.
Thank you so much, Alan. Paige Beckers isn't necessarily surprised at the way that AZ Fudd has been playing lately on both ends of the floor. She said that we all know AZ as a three-point shooter, but she's much more than that. She's able to score on all levels, and she's been proving how great of a defender she is. And she says with every game that goes by, AZ looks more and more like herself, and she's hoping that in this game tonight and as they approach the end of the season, that she gets even more confident, Alan.
Okay, Chelsea, thanks. Gino Auriemma, it is 40th season, along with Associate Head Coach Chris Daly, headlining the UConn program. 32nd straight 20-win season for Gino, CD, and the Huskies. So UConn in the home whites with the little pink trim for the Play for K Day. Butler in the road blues. And before a sellout crowd, we are underway. And hey, how about that? UConn won the tip.
I tell you what, it is loud in here.
Strong to Beckers. Now they'll try and post up Strong. Talking to Coach Parkinson about Sarah Strong, he knows what a great player she is, and she's going to be a load for his team to handle today. Keys to the game presented by Nissan are what?
Yeah, she's a load for any team to handle, right? Yeah. But and UConn has got to find consistency in the post between El Alfie and Ice Brady. Whoever it is, Aubrey Griffin coming in. There's a turnover here by Butler. They can't afford to turn it over like that in the open floor to give Paige Beckers that layup opportunity.
So Beckers with the steal and the score, and UConn with a quick 4-point lead on Butler. Here's McGuff. Pass was too tall for her, out of bounds. Another turnover, UConn basketball. So Austin Parkinson who was a terrific player at Purdue, from a very well-known and Hall of Fame Indiana basketball family. Was a coach at Indiana University, Indianapolis, with a terrific record. Now in his 3rd season leading this Butler program.
Yeah, he's a great coach in the game, a wonderful addition to the Big East. It's just they got to get their kids healthy. It's too bad they've had the injuries they've had.
Strong drives. Defense collapses. El Alfi hesitated. 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Fudd. And it goes a home rim bounce for
Yeah,
Easy.
shooter's roll, right? Smart play by Fudd with the step through, though, to get by the defender.
UConn hasn't missed a shot yet. Butler hasn't actually taken a shot yet.
Well, the defense has been relentless, and they've had some unfortunate turnovers.
There's Carson Norman short with the 3. Saved in bounds, but it goes to Chen. Beckers drives and got it. Timeout, Butler.
A smart decision by Beckers to see that lane open. Wasn't long, but she took it quickly.
8-0 UConn. Back at XL Center, here is today's Fan Choice Trivia question, presented by Dunkin'. Head to sny.tv/vote and click on Game Day to cast your vote for this question. Which UConn team had the highest season total number of fans in attendance? Now, all 4 of those choices were national championship teams. We have another sellout today.
It's a tough question.
It is. We look forward to seeing what your thoughts are and revealing the truth later on in the ballgame. So a quick 8-0 burst by UConn here, and Butler with the timeout, not even 2 minutes into this ballgame. And Paige Beckers, of the 8 points for UConn, already has 4.
And no braids in the hair today. First time she has not worn the signature braids for a game.
So you see her first half scoring.
Look at that, a little bit more aggressive.
And now UConn with the defensive pressure. This Butler team is a very young team, with the exception of 2 players. Here's Zeenstra into James. Sydney James looking, feeds it outside. And they get it around to McGuff, who drops the 3. Kylan McGuff, a transfer from Belmont. Beckers ahead of the pack. Look at that. Here's James, working on El Alfi. Double team comes in. Chen gets her hands on the ball, and that'll be tied up. It'll remain Butler's basketball.
Really good defense. Chen did a terrific job coming down to help and just grabbing the ball, not swiping the arm in, which often gets called for a foul. But El Alfi doing a good job, just staying body up, moving her feet. There she got away with kicking the ball.
I was going to say, I thought that was kicked. Chen has to slow down. Fudd with the 3.
You know, Sarah Strong could have taken that 3. I love the unselfish pass to the corner to Fudd.
So a 10-point Husky lead. Butler at least got points off the timeout on that possession. Here's Sydney James from just beyond the free throw line, and it goes for the senior from Brownstown, Indiana. UConn with pace. Fudd, no. El Alfi fights for the rebound. It is knocked out of bounds.
Second time with that step through by Fudd. That one couldn't get it to fall. And we talk a lot about the defense to offense here with the turnover. And then that extra pass from Strong to Fudd for the pretty 3.
UConn inbounded with a 20-second shot clock. Fudd off the Strong screen, but nice defense by McGuff to get back and close it down. Beckers between players. No. El Alfi fights for the rebound.
What hustle, really good hustle by El Alfi. It's been physical in that lane. Sydney James is really pushing on El Alfi. It's going to be a great matchup with those 2.
Yeah, El Alfi 6'5", James 6'3", and right there, Jana's knee touched down out of bounds while she had the ball in her hands, and that's why it went over to Butler. UConn trying to trap here. Nice effort up the court. Lily Carmody, the freshman, kicks it to McGuff, wide open. Got it for three.
What a great addition she's been for this Butler team, transferring in from Belmont.
Came into the game 11 points from 1,000 for her career. She's got 6 in this one for the Bulldogs. 6 of their 8.
Memorable game to get 1,000 points.
Right before a sellout at UConn. Bud tries, stops, cut off. But they left Chen wide open, and that goes for 3.
And boy, what a difference it makes for this team if Chen can consistently knock down shots like she has done the last several games. Will make this team so much better.
Well, they're in trouble trying to get to the 10-second line. They're going to call a blocking foul on Chen. That'll be her first.
Well, really good defense, but when you see all those jerseys, the skip pass is the one that's going to be open. Smart find by Fudd to find Chen on that opposite wing.
So Butler gets the fresh 30-second shot clock to work with after the UConn foul. They were in danger of not getting it across the timeline in 10 seconds, but now the Bulldogs a chance to reset here. Skip pass too tall for the tallest player on the floor for Butler, and another turnover. What's that going to be their 4th of the game already?
What a perfect play. I mean, executed to perfection. A great cut there by Strong and a great pass from Chen.
Shot from the outside goes for Lily Carmody, the freshman from Australia. So the 3 ball is flying for Butler now that they've gotten that first couple of minutes behind them. And it's a 7-point UConn lead. Beckers pulls up from just inside the free throw line.
Such a different swagger about this UConn team this afternoon, Alan.
Yeah. And the energy.
Yeah, there's something about just the way they look.
Going to be a foul. Ice Brady was just into the ball game for Jana El-Alfi.
So, you know, and the way they look, watch Strong. She just spins. She feels there's no weak side help. The perfect pass from Chen. Chen had called the play. What a finish. We talk about chemistry with Sarah Strong, with some of her teammates already. I mean, think about that. Strong's first year, Chen first year.
Yep.
Already such great chemistry.
KK Arnold Ashland shade into the ball game for UConn. Here's Arnold now with the basketball. And Beckers trails, missed wide left. And the rebound nicely done by the freshman Carmody. Another freshman, Lily Zeenstra. That pass is going to get away from Kristen Carter and be UConn basketball. So after the slow start for the Bulldogs, they are now 4 of 5 from the floor. 3 of 4 from outside. UConn 9 of 12 and 2 of 3 from long range. It's a 9-point Husky lead. Beckers from Shade, and she finds a cutting Brady.
Phenomenal pass from Paige Beckers.
And great defense there by Shade to feel the ball coming and knock it out of bounds.
I mean, a great curl off the screen, felt the defender trailing, and the unselfish pass. She easily could have shot that ball.
So UConn 10 of 13 shooting in the game, made 4 of their last 5. Here's Kylan McGuff looking for help. Shade almost got the steal, missed. Back to McGuff, who missed on the 3, and that is going to be rebounded by Carter. Here's Zeenstra, doesn't go. Brady knocks it out, back to Zeenstra. 3rd chance here for Butler. Find McGuff open, drain the 3. Kylan McGuff is now 3 of 4, all from outside. Arnold quickly to the other end. Shade from the free throw strike, no. And the rebound is pulled in by McGuff. of a back and forth we go pace here after that slow start, huh?
It sure is.
Carson Norman, no, over the top, strong with the rebound for UConn. Your point forward will bring the ball
Yeah,
up.
well, she can do everything.
Becker's around and out.
Shouldn't a senior get that home roll? Wow, he's halfway down.
There's a couple of them now in the game. So here's Lily Zeenstra, the freshman from Byron Center, Michigan, which is in the Grand Rapids area. Stolen away by Arnold.
Way to run up the floor with the loose ball after that steal. Such a smart play by Arnold to keep the defender on the back.
So UConn's lead now at 10. Carmody drives on Shade, doesn't go. Rebound tapped around. Carter will come down with it. Here's McGuff, steps around, strong. No. And going to be a foul called on the floor. I think that's going to be on Ashlyn Shade, her first.
We talk so much about defense, Alan. Here again, another steal that leads to offense. Wisely using her body to shield the defender and keep her on her back.
So UConn turning 7 Butler turnovers into points. Now the Bulldogs trying to inbound the ball. 5-second violation, UConn basketball. So Butler with more turnovers than field goals at the moment. Those 8 Butler turnovers have led to 13 of UConn's 24 points. They've turned it over 4 times in the last 3 minutes and change. Here's Shade. Got it. That's a 2. UConn red hot from the floor, 70% field goal shooting, 66% from 3. Carmody with a kick outside of Riley Makoleski, and the rebound knocked away from Carter. Here comes Arnold. Morgan into the ball game for UConn. With a minute and change to go in this first quarter. Beckers gets fouled. Shot doesn't go, but Page will go to the free throw stripe.
Looks like some people might fall asleep here.
Well, probably after that load of ice cream.
Absolutely.
And that would feel pretty good. So Paige Beckers at the free throw stripe. She's already up to 9 points. Making double figures in this first half after we showed you the numbers in the first half in the last couple of games. So Paige will go to the bench, take advantage of the end of quarter break. Ice Brady out as well. Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd come back on the floor with Shelley, Shade, and Arnold. After defensive pressure, Ari Wiggins will break it. And alone in the corner for 3 that doesn't go, and a long rebound. That was Makoleski for Butler. Here's Shelley behind the back and finds it open strong. Got it for 3.
What can't she do?
And that's going to be a foul on Arnold, who grabbed a hold of the arm of Carmody. A little razzle-dazzle here.
The freshman on the break will be credited with the assist on that bucket.
So a 9-0 UConn run here over the last less than 2 minutes. As we're into the final 40 seconds of this opening quarter. Here's the trap. Knocked away. And then Carmody is going to fall on Arnold as she came to the ground. And then get up and walk toward the bench like, hey, I need a breather.
Well, she said she put up 2 fingers. That might be her second foul. Really, I mean, that was KK Arnold. Great decision to come over that double team. It was just that relentless pressure that we've talked about. And then the frustration foul.
So 31.7 to work with here for the Huskies. Just a second and a tenth difference in the shot game clock. Shade's going to get called for carrying that one.
A little indecision in the middle of that play.
Yeah, the idea she had turned out to be not one she wanted to go through with. So Arnold and Shade will both go to the bench. Gino will meet them at the scorer's table for a talking. That's UConn's first turnover of the ball game with 24 seconds to go in the quarter. So here's Wiggins. What can Butler do to finish up this opening period here? A year ago at XL Center, they led UConn by 1 at the end of 1. 4 seconds. Wiggins drives on Strong, throws up the rainbow, hits the top of the backboard. And that is going to be a foul called as the time expired in the period. It's going to be a foul on McGuff. Going over the back, trying to get the rebound. So UConn will end period number 1, shooting 72% from the floor, 75% from 3, with a big lead on Butler. XL Center, downtown Hartford. UConn and Butler getting ready for the start of the second quarter. Some numbers from that opening period. Really, points off turnovers, points in the paint. I mean, red hot shooting from the Huskies. UConn got it all going their way.
They did, and you know, a lot of it came from their defense. And they had some oppressive defense to start this game, which has been their trademark for years, and they're really on point here this afternoon.
Butler didn't shoot the ball badly for the middle part of that quarter, but then kind of tailed off at the end of the first, leaving us the gap you find now. Here's Strong, lost the handle, picked it back up. That's going to be a double dribble, or a travel, or however you want to call it.
I think there were a couple violations in that.
So a turnover for UConn, and now the pressure again by the UConn defense. Nicely broken this time by Butler. So here's Kylan McGuff, worked on by AZ Fudd. They're going to call a foul on Fudd for some contact. So let's see, UConn with Beckers, Chelly, Chen, Fudd, and Strong, the 5 on the floor for the Huskies. Wiggins, Makaleski, McGuff, James, and there's James with the 3-point shot. It's going to miss everything.
Might have been tipped.
Zeenstra was the 5th. I couldn't find the 5th player for Butler out there. So 8 to shoot here for the Bulldogs. Barely got that in before the 5-second count, and a nice up and in with a couple of bounces.
It was a really smart play by Butler. Chelly just got caught sleeping at the wheel.
Sophomore Riley Makaleski gets the bucket for the Bulldogs. Here's Chelly driving quickly, almost lost the handle, but finds a wide open Chen. Got it for 3.
That's not bad, right? You give up 2 on one end, and then you set up a 3 on the other.
Just like Wednesday night in Chicago, Caitlin Chen is on target early in this one. Zeenstra lets it go and makes it go for 3. Lily Zeenstra, the freshman from Michigan.
Smart play there by Butler on the double team, just like we've seen UConn do. That skip pass across the court cannot be defended.
Sarah Strong set a tough screen for McGuff. The shot, though, from outside missed. So that's first miss of day for Chen.
Heads up play by Zeenstra.
McGuff lost the handle, got it back. Here is the freshman Zeenstra. Watch Strong working here with James. Becker steps in. Nice step away from James, but the shot was well short. Wow, McGuff came crashing through there, but missed the basketball. Becker's fouled. That'll be on Makaleski, and Paige Beckers will have some free throws.
Yeah, you saw the foul on that shooting arm. Paige been really aggressive, getting into the lane, turning that corner, whether it's coming off of a screen and she's rolling and feeling the defender behind her. She's just so smart at feeling where the defense is and going to the open spot.
Being aggressive at the start of games is something we've seen pretty regularly from Paige all season long, but she had such a tough time in Chicago on Wednesday night. Why do you think that was?
You know, you just have off nights every now and then, you know? So I don't think it's, and you see the way she's playing today. I love the aggressiveness.
Yep.
I like her shooting early. Shoot a lot and shoot early. Get a couple buckets. Maybe a steal here or there.
Shot missed, but Ashlyn Shade was there to clean it up.
A hustle by Shade.
Bud steps in. Quick closeouts by the Butler defense, but eventually they fall behind, and Bud makes him pay.
That's where this team can be so dangerous offensively.
AZ Fudd, 8 points, 3 of 4 from the floor, 2 of 2 from outside. Another Butler turnover, and Wiggins with the retreat. Nice athletic move to get that back.
Yeah, Chen tried to lead her with the pass. It's just well defended by Wiggins.
Here's Kyla McGuff, defended by Chen. Fudd went for the steal. McGuff tried for the tough shot, gets her own miss. That's going to be Butler basketball.
Really good. I like the patience of this offensive sequence, moving well without the ball. I mean, Paige just gave the ball, AZ just gave the ball up to Paige and then got herself set beyond the three-point line. Just smart basketball.
Meg, you talk a lot about movement and getting caught standing still, right? 3 times UConn drove, but the person getting cut off, somebody else rotated back out to free space.
And that's what's so difficult. You know, Butler did such a good job. They stopped, you know, they stopped him once, twice, 3 times. UConn was just relentless on that offensive possession.
So McGuff couldn't contain the pass, and that's a turnover by Butler. So UConn basketball with a 20-point lead, and now 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes for the Bulldogs. Oh, Becker slashes, Strong finds her.
There's that chemistry again. Those two know where each other are on all times.
So fun to see. Becker's up to 14 points now. Carson Norman screaming for Kyla McGuff to come get the basketball, but couldn't be heard over the XL Center crowd.
Nice pass.
Makaleski gets the bucket and the foul.
Well, the key is movement too, right? Pass, and then going to set the screen, and then she cut to the basket. What a smart read there by Beckers, and a phenomenal pass from the freshman Strong.
So Riley Makaleski, who made the All-Big East freshman team a season ago, drains the bucket. She's up to 5 points in this one. Here's Chen. Arnold feeds Strong, wide open for 3, doesn't go. McGuff for the rebound for Butler. Here comes Carson Norman. Now Makaleski got away from Chen and got the bucket. Makaleski came into this game struggling a bit from the floor in the last few games, but she's put the ball in the net this one. Becker is guarded by McGuff. And keeps moving, lets the defense fly by. Shot was short. Ball on the floor and hauled in by Butler. Here is Carmody back into the ball game with those 2 fouls you talked about before, Meg. Off the Jane screen, tries to drive on Strong, and it was too tall. K. Arnold, yes, with the left hand.
Just smart recognition by Arnold. They weren't stopping the ball. She took it all the way to the rim.
2 for 2 today for Arnold. AZ Fudd at the scorer's table waiting to check back in for UConn. Here's Sydney James. McGuff cuts, throws it up off the bottom of the rim. Becker's ahead of her defender, and a nice touch pass to Strong. Leads to a Butler timeout. What these two have developed together, special for this UConn team, Beckers and Strong. Way through quarter number 2 at XL Center today, and Paige Beckers leading the way for UConn with 14. Time for Como's Court Vision.
Well, check this out. You got Strong and Beckers, okay? They're running up the floor. The defense is trying to get back. And then look at this. Look how wide open Sarah Strong. Here's Beckers again. The defense doesn't see Strong back there. Terrific find by Beckers.
Como's Court Vision brought to you by Yale New Haven Health. Yeah, these two, what they've developed on the court this season, it's awfully fun to watch.
Well, you know, the great players, they have a great feel for the game. And while we haven't watched Sarah Strong as much as we've watched Beckers, you can see she will be one of the greats that have ever played here.
Here's Carson Norman, picked up her dribble, hounded, a little chaos inflicted on her. That's going to be a travel as Carmody found defenders closing in, and a Butler turnover. UConn 20 points off of Butler turnovers. And by the way, 22 of UConn's 45 points in the paint. Butler's up to 13 turnovers now. They average 18 in a game. And we've still got 4 minutes to go in this second quarter.
There's not many teams on their schedule that play defense like UConn does.
For sure. McGuff was all alone on the left side of the court. Carmody will try to find her. Shot was strong. And Bud chases down the rebound. Beckers lets the defense fly past, and that doesn't go, but the ball is tapped to Shade, and she gets it.
Speaking of relentless, Ashlyn Shade never stops moving. Does such a good job of crashing the boards. Always comes up with the loose ball.
So 2.5 minutes since Butler has put a point on the board. Under the relentless pressure of this Husky defense. Beckers tries for another steal, and will pick it up. Patience enough to let the defender fly past. How about this? We're not even at halftime yet, and Paige is up to 16 points. McGuff defended by Shade. Now here's Carter. Looking for some place to go. And Carmody cut off by Strong. Good switch there with Beckers. Norman spins away from Arnold. It doesn't go, and Shade with the rebound. Arnold sees an opening all the way to the rim. When she hits the gas, you're already behind.
She's just so fast with and without the ball.
Beckers tries for another steal.
Parkinson is trying to say his team is getting fouled.
Paige has already got 3 steals in the ball game, and there is Norman with a bucket. Carson Norman, the sophomore from Bedford, Indiana, breaks a long dry spell. UConn had gone on a 10-0 run before that basket. Going to call KK Arnold for turning the ball over.
Talk about how quick she is. If you don't stop the ball with a purpose, she will make you pay. And that's just the backside of that defense. Unusually not paying attention. They're a very well-coached team. They're a good team, defensive team. I think they're just a little overwhelmed right now.
Early Carmody drives, no, and winds up on the floor, well behind the play. Ashlyn Shade finds Aubrey Griffin into the ball game for a quick bucket.
To the delight of this XL crowd.
Here's James. Ashlyn Shade, great defense there, and Strong with a block. Gary Apple and Kara Walters coming up for first half highlights and analysis. The UConn women's basketball halftime show presented by Duncan is in the building. Down to our left. Fun to have Gary and Kara and the whole pregame show crowd here. Ari Wiggins will slide to the sideline in possession of the ball. Another turnover to UConn. Ice Brady checks into the ball game for Sarah Strong. So this UConn defense has generated 15 Butler turnovers in the first half. Trying to post up Griffin. Shade will circle out and drop the three.
And I just saw Parkinson just drop his head, you know. It's like you got to pick your poison. Who are you going to leave open?
Right.
The way UConn is playing, you can't leave anybody open right now.
UConn shooting red hot from beyond the arc in this game as well. Nice cut. And McGuff missed the shot. Shade with good box outs for the rebound. 3 of 10 for Butler's leading active scorer in the ball game. Remember, one of the storylines on this one, their leading scorer out for the season. So final 10 seconds of this first half. Shade. Got it. The corner three. The exclamation point on a first half that brings the XL Center crowd to its feet.
I mean, just terrific passing, really good spacing, and the great finish there by Shade.
UConn 7 of 10 from 3 in this first half. And again, forcing 15 Butler turnovers. What's not to like if you're a UConn fan? 59 points on the board before halftime today for the Huskies. And they lead the Bulldogs 59-26, finishing that second quarter on an 18-2 run. Chelsea is with Gino.
Coach, it seemed like your team came out with a certain level of intensity in this game. How do you feel like they controlled the pace, especially defensively? You forced 15 turnovers.
Yeah, you know, if you watch Butler play, you know, it's like every time you leave somebody open for a three, it goes in, you know. So we want to try to be disruptive as much as we can, and I thought we started the game that way. You know, we're trying to create as many turnovers as we can. I think our ball movement has been really, really good, and you know, you have to force the issue when you play at home. So I think we did a great job of that.
Yeah. Speaking of being disruptive, 16 points for Paige. She also had 3 steals. How do you feel about her approach to this game so far?
Yeah, that's when she's at her best, you know, when she's being aggressive, and that's at both ends, being aggressive offensively, being aggressive defensively. As I said, I think it's a team thing, you know, and the more our team is aggressive and the more we try, you know, take some risks, yeah, it's going to end up in some, you know, wide open shots, but I think the benefit, the other end's worth it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thoughts of the Hall of Famer? Thank you, Chelsea. As aggressive it was for UConn at both ends of the floor. Paige Becker's leading scorer in the ballgame. Gary and Kara from right here in Hartford with the halftime show next.
It is the UConn Women's Halftime Report. It's brought to you by Duncan. Gary Apple, Kara Walters back courtside here at the XL Center. We spoke on the pregame show, Kara, about the fact that it was a quiet game last time out for Paige Beckers. We thought she would be aggressive coming out, and man, she got it going right from the outset.
She did. I mean, she struggled the last 2 games. Coming out slow, you could tell she made a concerted effort early and often to get that ball. I I like that she goes to she had that mid-range jumper, right?
She did.
She's so smart, up fakes, one dribble, mid-range jumper from long. But you know what I liked also? She got people involved. She was aggressive. She shared the ball extremely well. She had 3 assists to go along with that. So she's doing it everywhere.
And she had 3 steals in that first half as well, so she was really involved. Set the tempo for UConn. Again, they lead this game big at the break. It is 59-26. The Huskies looking to make it 11 consecutive victories. And our halftime coverage, it continues when we come back. I want to take a look at the way UConn shared the basketball. I mean, they really were spot on in that first half, the way they found each other and moved the basketball. We'll have that more when we come back in just a moment. We get a look right now, first half stats, and UConn shooting the lights out, 69% in that first half, 70% from beyond the arc. They're 7 of 10, Kara, from beyond the arc. What else is jumping out at you?
Points in the paint, 30-6, but also the points off turnovers, 25-2. We're going to talk about it in a little while.
All right, we'll do that when we come back on the other side of a break. UConn leads 59. They put up 59 points in that first half, 59-26 at the break. Our halftime coverage continues from here at the XL Center in just a moment. It is time right now for your nothing hits like a Duncan play. UConn basketball runs on Duncan. Caitlin Chen, Sarah Strong on the same page. UConn 17 assists on 24 made baskets in that first half. They also turned Butler over 15 times, Kara, in that first half.
I mean, just phenomenal. Their defense leading to offense.
Yes.
That's what UConn does. And everybody getting involved. Paige Beckers had 3 of those steals. And I just think KK Arnold was disruptive. I love what she does coming off the bench. She also had 3 steals. So she was very disruptive. Active hands, active feet. They're just playing really well as a unit right now.
How much of that is just this team is beginning to really get in sync at the right time?
They are definitely getting in sync at the right time, and then it's hustle and effort, and because they have bodies, he's able to let them play hard, hustle, get some subs in and out. But definitely this team is gelling at the right time.
They are, and they're knocking down their 3-point shots, and that changes the equation. They were 7 of 10 from beyond the arc. Jade had a big first half from downtown, KK as well, and Caitlin Chen knocked down a couple. That opens up the middle, so that's a game changer for this squad.
Definitely a game changer, but Gary, we got to get the big girls involved.
Oh, yes.
The post play has not been great. All the actions from the guards. Gino really needs them to pick it up because they're going to need it in a game like Tennessee.
All right, Kara and I going to see you back on the post-game show. Second half action on the way.
The Gino Auriemma Specials, a special group, and we're honored that you join us every week for these games. So let's talk about this second half with Megan Kumo, Alan Bestwick, Chelsea Sherrod rejoins us in a minute. A theme with this team has been, for my 6 seasons of doing this, defense to offense. It was on display in the first half.
It really was. I mean, they come out with a fierceness and a relentlessness. It made it really difficult for Butler to get anything going offensively, and Beckers was so aggressive on the defensive end to offensive end, and KK Arnold doing what she does best, coming in off the bench and just changing the game, and they're double teaming. It was something that Butler just really struggled with trying to execute their offense there. Beckers, her hand in the passing lane with the finish.
And yeah, 13 years. Appreciate the university and its recognition, and we look forward to finishing strong.
Yeah, it's been a fun 13 years.
So another sold-out crowd at XL Center. It's the Play for K-Day, so a lot of the pink, breast cancer awareness. And here we go with the fans on their feet, and Butler inbounding the basketball to begin this third quarter. As the Bulldogs have the ball, Chelsea, you just talked to Austin Parkinson.
Yeah, Alan, Coach Parkinson said, well, you know, if a team's going to shoot 7 for 10 from 3, it's going to be really hard to beat them. He said, we've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. He said 15 turnovers, 25 points off of them. We're basically giving them free buckets, and we can't do that. We have to make them guard us and try to put the ball in the basket like they just did right there.
They did. That was Kylan McGuff with the 3. Here's Fudd to Jenna El Alfi. Cut off by Sydney James, tried to find Sarah Strong, and it's a turnover.
Well, and McGuff with that 3, that's 1,000 for her college career, so Pretty poignant way to do it, and it's sold out XL Center play in UConn.
So Butler looking to see if it can, it had a stretch in the middle of that first half where they were red hot from outside. Looking to try and find that magic again here. And rebound tipped away, and here comes Chen. Nice defensive retreat there by Lily Carmody. Inbound to Jenna Al-Alfi, doesn't go, gets her own miss, and on the second try.
They've got to get their post players going on the offensive end of the floor. For UConn to do what they want to do in the postseason, they'll need a presence in the post.
Gino playing a lot of that smaller lineup, and with good result. Al-Alfi in the ball game now. Playing a little zone here. Carson Norman defended. That's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Butler ball.
Perfect pass. Al-Alfi just found herself underneath the hoop, but stayed with it and finished.
So just 2 seconds to shoot here for Butler. Blocked by Strong. Hand square on the basketball. Here's Al-Alfi, spins and scores.
Pretty play again. Starting with a block on the other end by Strong, which was impressive in and of itself. Pretty break by the Huskies.
Defensive communication at work there on the switch. Huskies with the basketball all the way around. Going to be a foul there as they tried to get it inside on Jenna Al-Alfi.
I mean, talk about to show her athleticism, to block it, come up with it, and then the really good finish inside by Al-Alfi.
Long range, off the mark. And Al-Alfi with a rebound for UConn. Carson Norman open 2 from the field. Becker shoved from behind after she let the ball go. No foul call, missed the shot.
She's mad.
Here's Carmody, blocked by Fudd. Look at that, Chen to Beckers, how sweet.
A perfectly timed cut from Paige Beckers. And what a pass from Chen.
Just the tiniest bit of opening, but that was all that was needed. Beckers up to 18. James got it.
That's a tough shot by James over the outstretched arms of Al-Alfi. Smart by Al-Alfi to not try to block it or commit the foul. And UConn is playing a zone. You mentioned that before.
Here's Fudd. Nice. That's a 2 for Azzi. And that is going to put her in double figures on the day. Paige with 18, Azzi with 10, Ashlyn Shade with 10. Leading scorer for Butler is Kylie McGuff with 12. Here's McGuff with the ball in her hands, guarded by Strong. Wrestling match going on in the paint for a minute between James and Al-Alfi.
It's been physical with those two all day.
Here's James. Nice spin. Doesn't go though. McGuff gets the rebound over the top of Beckers.
And McGuff is relentless. She never stops moving.
Blocked by Al-Alfi. Good defensive retreat by the Bulldogs, so Fudd has to back out. Gets the ball back and drops the 3 just like that. They make it look so easy.
Especially Fudd. I mean, her stroke is just so pure.
So Austin Parkinson will call a timeout for the Bulldogs as UConn has continued its red-hot shooting in this third quarter. And the defense has stepped it up as well. Blocks and buckets, the theme here in this third period for UConn. The latest by Azzi Fudd. There are less than 300 tickets remaining for the UConn women's basketball matchup against St. John's on Wednesday, February 12th at Gamble Pavilion. So visit UConnTickets.com and learn more. Act fast to secure your seats. Another sellout crowd today here at Gamble Pavilion, including quite a number of young basketball fans. How cool.
Yes.
Our UConn fan choice trivia question presented by Duncan. Today we wanted you to tell us which team you thought had the highest season total number of fans in attendance of those choices. Fans voted for 12-13 in a majority, but they were wrong. 2001-2002, a team that featured some of the all-time greats.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the dynasty back in '01. In the thick of it was Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Swin Cash.
Yeah.
Some great days.
So off the timeout, here's Sydney James working on Jana El-Alfi. Nice move with her left hand and gets the bucket.
It was a tough finish by James.
She and El-Alfi having quite a battle in the paint here in this third quarter.
There's going to be some bruises on both of them.
Shea tried to get it to a cutting fight. It was knocked away. James will take a three and got it to go. For a post player, she doesn't take a lot of threes, but she's shooting 41% from long range. Sydney James.
It's a pretty stroke, too. It's 6'3". She can do so much on the floor.
Jana El-Alfi made her first career three the other night in DePaul. Doesn't take it there. Instead gets it to Shade, who gets fouled. So the under 5 timeout here with 4:46 to go in the third quarter. Gino about to sit down and talk it over with his squad.
It's got to be the greatest coaching tandem in the history of sport.
What they created and built will probably be the greatest dynasty in women's basketball ever.
There'll never be another Coach Auriemma, CD tandem. They're one of one.
I feel comfortable saying it'll never be done again the way it's been done here.
Episode 4 of the 4-part series, Gino and CD, 40 Years of Excellence, presented by Nissan, comes up Wednesday, February 12th at 10 o'clock, right after our St. John's game coverage here on SNY. So earlier today here at XL Center, a special moment on the court.
Well, everyone sees them wearing these shirts that say "Love Abby," and Abby Zatoun was an ambassador for Connecticut Children's Hospital. She had pediatric cancer. Here's her family getting honored. And Caroline Ducharme, you see out there with them. Well, this kid became such a special part of this program. And their family is like family with the UConn program. Shows it's more than just wins and championships. The Zatoun family is so involved with this program. And it started with Avina Westbrook, who brought her into the fold, and Abby passed away this past year, and the UConn program wants to stay connected. They made a donation to the charity. It's a wonderful story. It's a heartbreaking story, but they're trying to keep the legacy and the memory of Abby alive, so it's wonderful to be a part of it.
Very nice ceremony earlier in the day, and again, the players all wearing the warm-up shirts today, and of course you see a lot of pink around the crowd as well. The Play for K game as well, breast cancer awareness, a lot of pink shoes on the court. And Fudd releases another three. That was a little off to the left, and a nice rebound there by Lily Zeenstra, who handles the ball here for Butler. The Bulldogs actually only trailing UConn in this quarter by 2 points as KK Arnold picks up kind of an unnecessary foul there.
You see his reaction, just leaning back, taking a deep breath.
So that's the second for KK. 22 seconds on the shot clock for Butler. UConn shooting in this quarter 62%, 50% from three. Ball is going to be knocked away and be UConn basketball. That is going to be the 16th turnover by Butler in this game. They average 18 a game. Remember, they had 15 at halftime. So UConn's defense applying a lot of pressure here to the Bulldogs in this one. Here's Brady. Arnold cut. Brady sets the screen for a curling shade. Shot missed. And a nice rebound there by Carmody for, no, that's Makaleski for Butler. Here's Sydney James, guarded this time by Ice Brady. Almost lost the handle on that. Now the freshman Zeenstra, the skip pass.
Nice recovery by UConn while the ball was in the air.
3 to shoot. McGuff's going to throw it up. It's blocked. Jenna Alfie maybe get poked while she was out there and all that fighting in the paint.
Could have taken a shot to the eye and take off some eyelashes.
We'll keep an eye on that. So 3.5 to go, third quarter here. How about this crowd, by the way? Once again, XL Center sold out. Student section jamming.
Oh, Brady was open in that low post.
Arnold drives aggressively. Got it.
Arnold's decision-making has just been spectacular.
4 for 4 today from the floor. Here's Kristen Carter, blocked. Defensive help came in. And that surely has to result in a tied-up ball that goes to UConn on the alternating possession.
Ice Brady's has given some really good minutes as well. Just good hands, good footwork, knocking the ball away. Good hustle by Butler.
That's all the way to the top of the XL Center.
That's a walk, too.
Yes, it is. Sarah Strong quickly into the paint. Recovered after the ball was tipped and still put it in.
Shows her strength to finish that play.
Aubrey Griffin awaits at the scorer's table to check back into the ballgame. UConn at 75 points with 2 minutes and change to go in the third quarter. Season high in scoring for the Huskies was 101. Here's McGuff. Corner shot from Wiggins doesn't go. And here's KK Arnold. Allie Zabel into the ballgame for UConn. Also, first time today for the freshman Zabel. Again, Arnold quickly through a seam, and it fell back into the bucket.
She just blessed herself. Running back on defense, like, thank God that went in.
Quickly up the court to McGuff, who's wide open and drops a 3. Kyler McGuff, over 1,000 points career scoring today. She's up to 15, and the only one in double figures for Butler. Brady looking for some post position, couldn't get it. She stepped out to avoid the 3-second call as Strong was going to throw it in.
Brady looks so much more confident here.
Gets it knocked away. That was McGuff that came back on the help.
Really good help defense there by McGuff.
Almost mishandled it, got it into Carmody. 4 Huskies collapse, make it 3. She falls out of bounds, but the shot comes back around to Makaleski, who drops the shot from outside. Butler can't complain about how they've shot the ball from 3 today. They've shot it well. 45%.
Gino just stood up. He'll complain.
Well, I said Butler. Speaking of 3, Allie Zabel got it, pure. UConn can't complain with how they shot the ball from 3 today. 69% from outside today for the Huskies. They are 9 of 13.
And they have not shot exceptionally well all season long from 3.
Arnold flashes up, makes the steal and the score. Double figures for KK. Thought she had a chance for another steal there. So final 12 seconds of this third quarter here at XL Center. McGuff from way outside the arc, misses everything. And that'll fall out of bounds with 3/10 of a second to go in the quarter. Our Take It to the Rim moment is brought to you by Duncan. KK Arnold featured here.
Just really good anticipation on the defensive end to step in that passing lane, steal the ball, and finish on the other end.
So UConn finishes that third quarter with a flurry. And KK Arnold is 6 for 6 on the ball game. Huskies by 40 after 3. Ready for the fourth quarter at the XL Center in Hartford. Our game reset is presented by your local New England Honda dealers. So there are 5 UConn players in double figures. Paige Becker's leading the way. She started off very aggressively early in the game and has 18 points on the day. A lot of friends and fans here. And a lot of SNY folks here, thanks to the university. Kirk Gowdy Jr., top right there, the man who put this network all together, along with President Steve Rabb. There's Kurt.
The best.
All right, Chelsea, what have you been hearing over there in those huddles?
Yeah, Alan, Ashlyn Shade said that she's feeling a lot more confident defensively. We've seen her take a really big step forward in that area. She said she's confident. She's more comfortable reading and reacting, anticipating, and being more aggressive. She said because they have more reinforcements like AZ Fudd and Caitlin Chen, it takes the pressure off of her. She doesn't feel like she has to overthink anything. Gino Auriemma was asked about her defense, and he said her defensive role hasn't changed. She's just made it a much bigger role for her, and I think we're seeing it pay off in a big way.
It's fascinating to see the different comfort level that Shade has versus a year ago when she was forced to do so much.
She's so much more confident.
Yeah.
And like you said, comfortable.
So UConn again with the aggressive defense. Five to shoot ball, a hand on the ball by Arnold. 4 to shoot, way outside from Carmody, and it goes for the freshman from Australia, Lily Carmody, who, by the way, was a teammate of Olivia Nelson-Adoda on a professional club down in Australia before she came to the U.S. to play college ball. Brady gets called for travel as she turned to shoot since nobody was coming out to defend her. That is the 7th UConn turnover of the ball game. Their season average is about 10 per ball game. So still under that. Freshman 14, Jocelyn Land for Butler. Keep an eye on her. She came into the ball game in the second half at Seton Hall in the Bulldogs' last game and lit it up from 3. That'll be a 3 outside. Carter gets the aggressive rebound. Goes inside of Brady and gets the putback. Kristen Carter, the sophomore from Indianapolis.
Love the strong rebound and aggressive putback.
So here's one of those things that you know, if you're Gino, you're trying to work on with this team in February. When you have different combinations on the floor, right? The offensive cohesion, the defensive cohesion. Brady knocked away, gets it back, and is fouled.
Good effort to stay with it there from Brady. See, I thought she passed it. Maybe it got hit, but she threw it to herself in the air. Generally speaking, that's not allowed. It was not called, right?
Yep. Gino talked about when he met with the media yesterday how Ice has done a really good job defensively for this team, giving him some really good minutes on the floor. Next step he wants to see for her is to be more aggressive in the post.
Yeah, they need Brady or El Alfie to step up, and then, you know, the next one up is Aubrey Griffin, who just grabbed that offensive rebound to keep things alive.
Arnold kicks to Zabel, shot was wide right, and there's Aubrey Griffin again with another offensive board. Shade works around the Brady screen and drops it.
Brady's made some really nice handoffs and set some big screens. The payout that time was Shade's made bucket.
Ashlyn Shade up to 13 points, 5 of 7 shooting today, 2 of 2 from outside. Here's Land. The kick outside, the long-range ball misses. Nice rebound position there by Carter, and another chance for Butler. That was Carmody that took the shot. There's Zeenstra. Very young lineup on the floor here for Butler. Brady gets a hand on the ball. They'll go to the floor. That'll be tied up. UConn basketball on the alternating possession. Paige Beckers with 18 points today. Again, came out on a tear, really aggressive in the early part of the ball game, which is exactly what this UConn squad wants to see out of her. And you mentioning earlier the fashion statement today.
Oh yeah, not wearing the typical braid in her hair, which so many kids have emulated around this state and this country.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted to make a change. I liked her aggressiveness when she came out to start this game. She likes to be unselfish, but I think Gino, the staff, even her teammates want her to be a little more selfish, shoot the ball more, particularly from the opening tip, then worry about passing it.
Morgan Shelley and Caden Samuels into the ball game, and Shade got a hand on that one, still loose. And the hustle play draws applause from the XL Center crowd. Samuels will line up with 3 and got it. Everybody eats today for the Huskies in Hartford. Everybody's played, everybody scored. And a turnover, UConn basketball.
How about the hustle by everybody, both teams diving on loose balls. Gotta love the effort. The score doesn't matter.
How about Shade just ripping that ball away and finding an open teammate. Here's Samuels. Driving. Kicks to Zabel. No, too strong. And a rebound by McGuff. Quickly trapped, and they're going to call Shelley for a foul, trying to steal the ball away. Gino called Kylan McGuff a double-double machine when he was asked about facing Butler yesterday. And McGuff has 15 points and now 7 rebounds for Butler. Comes from a basketball family.
Well, yeah, those of you who are women's basketball fans may recognize the name. Her dad is Kevin McGuff, longtime assistant at Notre Dame, now the head coach at Ohio State. Great coach in the women's game, great guy. Must be proud of his daughter, playing great basketball.
His Buckeyes are a team to keep an eye on going forward as a foul is committed as McGuff drives to the basket. That's going to be on, who's that on? Al-Alfie, I believe, just back into the ballgame, yes. Yeah, Ohio State pretty solid. AZ Fudd had a great day today. 13 points, 5 of 8, 3 of 4 from outside. Sarah Strong today. Another great game, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 of 6 from the floor for Sarah. Caitlin Chen, a solid game. 2 of 3 shooting. And McGuff rose closer to the 20-point mark with the free throws there for Butler. Zabel, Shelley, Samuels, Griffin, and Al-Alfie, the 5 on the floor for UConn. Griffin cut off. And Samuels will get fouled. Our Madison Reed colorful play of the game is Paige Beckers.
Well, again, left hand in that passing lane. Fundamentally sound defensive play to step in there, and then the hustle to finish. And then gather herself the other end.
So off the foul that was on Sydney James. UConn with a 20-second shot clock to work with. Samuels off the Griffin screen, waited just a little bit too long. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot, knocked away from Griffin. And they steal the pass as they had Carmody ahead of the UConn defense. Samuels between players, no. And Griffin crashes the boards and knocks that one out of bounds. Somewhere in the back of my head, I'm hearing the Beatles' Helter Skelter being played. Well, of course, this UConn team in good shape here to remain undefeated in Big East play today. And the first of those 2 huge non-conference matchups still on the schedule for the month of February lies ahead next for the Huskies later this week, when they head to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. 6 to shoot, kick to the outside, and Jocelyn Land drains the 3, the freshman from Minnesota. Stepped into the game, I mentioned this earlier, stepped into the game at Seton Hall the other night and just started knocking threes down left and right. Here's Griffin. Zabel steps around. And now Samuels from Griffin, no. Alalfi fights for the rebound, and there'll be a foul called on the floor. Gets us to the under 5 timeout with 4:14 to go in the ball game here in Hartford. UConn up 88-52. UConn women's basketball on SNY is brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, they make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop nissanusa.com. By Rings End and Benjamin Moore, your inspiration, our expertise. By Trantolo and Trantolo, personal injury law firm. And by Subaru of New England. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com. The excellent folks that make the pictures happen with our SNY on UConn crew. Jeff and Mark and Peter and Chris and Andy. And everybody that kicks in here and makes this so much fun to do. Honored to be your teammate. So with 4:14 to go in this ball game, Gino looks on as his team leads Butler by 36, looking to remain undefeated and in first place in the Big East play. It's Alalfi, Zabel, Samuels, Griffin, and Chelly, the 5 on the floor here for UConn, getting in some minutes work as we hit February. Alalfi gets fouled, trying to go up. That'll be another one on James, her 3rd.
It's been a battle all afternoon with these two young ladies. James is a good physical defender. This is a real good workout for Alalfi to go against this kid, particularly when you think about Tennessee and South Carolina coming up.
Yeah, a lot of size on those teams.
Yeah, and physicality.
And again, Gino talking about aggressiveness in the post. Being an area he'd like to see his team, or he needs his team to improve.
They need to get better there. And more consistent.
So Jana up to 5 points on this one. Didn't play a ton in the first half, but is getting her minutes in here in this 3rd and 4th quarter for sure. There's a long-range shot off the mark by Land, and a rebound chased down by Samuels. Zabel finds Samuels, who tees it up over the top. And a good chase down to the rebound by Chelly. Nice hustle.
Yeah, terrific hustle by Chelly. Not giving up on the play.
There's Zabel. That one goes for 3.
She is money. The bench knows it.
2 of 3, both 2 of 4 rather, all from outside for Allie Zabel. Here's Kyler McDuff. Now Carson Norman. Nice step through and feed from Carmody to Carter for the Butler basket.
Terrific play, and it just shows you how smart this Butler team is, how well coached they are. It was a pretty offensive sequence.
Again, remember, just joining us, they lost one of their 2 best scorers, returning from last year, as Alalfi with a nice high glass shot. 2 days before the season, when Jordan Melmans went down with an injury, and then Caroline Strandy, who was leading the team and was a preseason All-Big East pick, went down with a knee injury just around the 1st of the year and is out for the season. And UConn fans, as we've said before, can relate to that story so well. Here's a foul by McGuff on Zabel. Carrie Apple and Kara Walters are in the house, and they'll have a full recap of today's game. Plus, Gino Auriemma will join them live on set on the UConn Women's Basketball postgame show presented by your local New England Honda dealers. That's right after the game. There are Gary and Kara.
Getting ready, getting camera ready.
Got to do it. Got to do it. Fun to have them here.
It's great. It's so great to have them here. Usually they're way down in the city.
Yeah. And again, appreciate the university recognizing SNY's 13 years being part of the program. So 94-54 for the Huskies, and here is Allie Zabel stepping to the line to shoot free throws. The freshman from Wisconsin, who lit it up against Xavier for 17 points. Playing time's been a little sparse the last few weeks on the season, but making the most of her minutes here against Butler today. except from the free throw line.
Yeah, it's not going to help you miss your free throws.
Yeah. And the knocked out of bounds off Butler, and UConn will get a second chance. Get it to El Alfi. She wrestles it off the glass and in.
That's what she's got to do. She's got to finish while getting fouled. It was a really nicely executed play. She cut. Aubrey Griffin made a great screen. Nice curl. She presented really bigly, really big.
Yep, we knew what you meant.
Bigly, is that a word?
It is now.
You love it when big kids get fouled and make the bucket.
Double figures today for Jana, by the way. 10 points. Nice rebound position there for Shelley. She pushes the pace. That is a turnover by UConn. And so next ahead for the Huskies, that trip to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. 15-5 on the season entering today. Second in the nation in points per game. 289th in the nation in defending points per game.
Will be a real interesting matchup with the way UConn defends. It's always tough to play in Knoxville.
Nice pull up there from Caden Samuels. It's so a really good test for the Huskies. Tennessee has size. Again, they play at a frenetic. I mean, they're averaging 91 points a game. As Wiggins lets it fly for three. Aaron Wiggins gets on the board with a three for Butler. So how do you see it Thursday night?
It'll be a great battle. You know, it'll be a really good test for UConn to go down to Knoxville. You know, it'll be certainly well attended. It'll be a great contest. It's tough to beat Tennessee on their home floor.
Griffin gets fouled going to the basket. Tennessee is on a 3-game losing streak, and they're at Missouri today. Our player of the game, presented by your local Hyundai dealers, is Paige Beckers.
It was great to see Beckers come out so aggressive from the jump. I don't think she shot the ball great at DePaul. I know she's happy to be, you know, just feeling better about her game.
Third 100-point game of the season for UConn. And equals their season high in scoring at 101. I'm not necessarily in touch with these things. Do they pass out tacos or anything for 100 points these days?
Well, I'm kind of hungry. I wish they would.
Griffin! Oh, she'll get called for the foul as she went for the block. 101 today for UConn. And again, the numbers have slowed down because this fourth quarter, the shooting percentage hasn't been great. But after 3 quarters, the Huskies were shooting like 66.7% from 3 for the ball game. As Jocelyn Land, the freshman from Chanhassen, Minnesota, Twin Cities area, shoots free throws here. It's not far from Hopkins, a place Husky fans are no doubt familiar. And knocks down the free throws there. By the way, the return game in this series, February 22nd at Hinkle Fieldhouse, the old historic place in Indianapolis, was announced as a sellout on January 6th by Butler.
Chelly's got to shoot that ball.
I thought in the last couple games she had chances to shoot and was maybe a little hesitant.
Well, just, you know, you get caught up in wanting to share the ball. And there's such an unselfish vibe around this team and this program. You're open, shoot it.
I take it back. I think I said it was an everybody eats day. Shelley hasn't scored yet, so she's the one of UConn. That is going to be a foul as Zeenstra drove into the paint. That'll be on Zabel. They say got her on the side of the face. So 25 seconds to go here. Largest margin of victory for UConn on the season was 60 points, so that's not going to be hit here today. But certainly a lot to like about this performance by UConn on both sides of the ball, offense and defense in this one. Griffin tries for the block, didn't get it. Player down behind the scene and gets up and comes back as the Carmody is okay. So the remains of the sellout crowd at XL Center will come to their feet and applaud the performance by their Huskies, who remain unbeaten in Big East play and run their record on the season to 21-2. They equal their highest scoring total of the year. And your final today from Hartford is Huskies 101, Bulldogs 59.
As you turn the corner into February, it's a really good time to start tightening some things up. It's good to see UConn shoot and score the way they did today, in conjunction with the impressive way they played defense and made it difficult for Butler to do much.
Forced 22 Bulldog turnovers today, so a good day on both ends of the floor for the Huskies today, with 6 players ending the day in double figures scoring. So your final is 101-59 at XL Center today. Our next UConn game on SNY is next Wednesday night, February 12th, as the Huskies head back to campus to take on St. John's at Campbell Pavilion. Our coverage starts with the pregame show at 7 o'clock. For Megan, Chelsea, and our entire SNY game crew, Alan Bestwick, sending you to a break and then right back here to XL Center for Gary and Carol with Gino live on the postgame show.